What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a brand new update for you. I'm in the early access build and we can show you everything with season 7, everything new. All right, let's go. Real quick before we get into it, shout out to Ubisoft. Thank you so much for providing me early access to this build. It really allows me to get ahead of game and make the content so that you guys can see it right before the update, which is today. This update will go live tomorrow and I'm excited, man. It's nice to see new content in the game. So anyways, let's get into it, man. Here's everything new. All right, let's start out with the map. So we do have the Ferrari museum area. So let's go ahead and fast travel to that. This area is taking place on Maui. So if I back out, you can see it's right here, right as you come over the bridge, right next to the Maui playlist, as well as some stuff here in Wailea. I'm not really sure how to explain that. Anyways, right and tucked into the hillside here, right on the side. And you can see the area is not super big. It's actually kind of small in my opinion, but it's pretty nice. It looks really good. I don't think it's going to add much in terms of like gameplay, or there's not really anything to do necessarily here, except for you can actually just go up to the cars. There, let me drive over to a car real quick. So there's various cars along this, display here, and you can see the vehicle. All right, Kara.
What do you think?
All right, Kara.
This was generated by a cousin of mine. I'm not great with poetry, but talking to you about playlists, now that I can do. Motorfest takes on the colors of Red Bull, the most energetic brand in motorsport.
Okay, I think she's done. Anyways, you can go up to these vehicles and see the vehicle. Now, it gives you a little bit of like information about the vehicle, a little bit of like history a little, and some information about the performance, that type of thing. And you can actually play an audio sample, which is going to be an actual audio sample of the car itself. So we'll play that right now. Flybys. Start up. Back to the beginning again, I believe. Yes. You can just continuously play an audio sample from the car itself. Now, in addition to that, you can go to the shop and purchase the car directly from there. Takes you right to it. Boom, you can buy it, although we already have it obviously in this game. So that's the Ferrari. There's lots of other ones. I think there's like 5, if I'm not mistaken, there's 5 different ones. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's one around the corner here. 5. Oh, there's 6. There's 6 different cars that are on display, including, this is the new, well, not new, but this is the GTO, which is new for Motorfest. And then I think this is the F40. What do we got over here? Yeah, there's the new F50. Oh man, the F50 looks great. What else we got? Oh yeah, baby. Enzo's just so nice, bro. Here we go. Here we go. F80. And then the Ferrari, obviously. So anyways, that's basically it for the map changes. That's all you got. It's a little bit small and you can't really do much here. You can park up, maybe go have a Ferrari meet, but that's kind of it. So let's move on to the cars. All right, let's start with the main stage legacy. These are cars that are returning. They were already in the game, but if you missed them in the main stage, you can get them now in the legacy. For this first month, it's going to be this KTM 1190 RC8R Power Track Edition. But for the next 3 months, so month 2, you're actually going to be getting the Porsche 935 2.0 Coupe, baby, which is this guy right here, Old Timer Edition. For month number 3, you're going to get the Hummer HX Concept Enforcer Unit, which is this guy right here. That's a main stage reward. And then the last one is going to be the Proto Concept Spear Racing Edition. This one, right? This one. The Proto Concept Spear Racing Edition, which again was a main stage exclusive reward. You can get this one on month 4. That'll be the last month of this season. Now, for the year 2 pass for this month, we've got 4 cars. We've got the Ferrari F50, which will be in month 1. This will be purchasable basically for everybody, The day the update comes out, year 2 pass holders will get this for free. You won't have to use any of your in-game currency. This car is required to start the playlist, the Ferrari playlist. So everyone's going to have to buy this car. I own it already in this update, so I don't really know how much it's going to be, but it'll probably be somewhere in the millions, probably pretty similar to the F40. So that's month 1. Month 2, we're actually getting a new vehicle and a new brand called Genti Automobile. This one is called the Acalone or the Kylone. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with this brand, but basically it's a hypercar. We get that on August 6th. And then for month 3, we've got the Audi R8 LMS GT2 racing car. That's on September 3rd. And then finally, the last month is the Triumph Rocket 3R in Street 2. That'll be October 1st. Now, immediately available for purchase when the update comes out will be the shop editions. Those are the Ferrari F80. That's this car right here. And then the MV Agusta Brutale Dragster 800RR and the same brand F4RR. So you get 2 street bikes as well. These 2 are for purchase like right when the update goes live. So that's it for the shop editions. Now you also have the Ferrari Playlist reward car, which is right here. This is the Ferrari GTO. So the Ferrari GTO is in Street 2. I thought this was going to be a Street 1 car. I don't know why, but maybe just because it's old. This is a 1984 Ferrari GTO. This car is sick. This is such a good car. And actually, I've tested all of the cars that are available at launch, and there's a couple of them that we need to talk about. But I've got that in another video coming up a little bit later today, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. There'll be like a car testing video for you as well. Now, in addition to that, we got 4 main stage cars because we have 4 months of main stage. For this month, the car that's returning is the Alfa Romeo 4C Serpente Edizione. This one is a car that I actually was missing. I need this one, so I'm excited about that. There's 3 other cars that have yet to be named, but you've got month 2, 3, and 4. So that's another 4 cars to add to the list. Now, there is a Summit exclusive car for this month as well, just like always, and that'll happen on the 5th week. It is a Ferrari SF90. It's a custom SF90. It doesn't look much different, I'll be honest with you, but I know Ferrari isn't really that keen on customization. So for this one, it looks like it just has the silver stripe and the silver like front splitter. It's not a splitter because it's not on the bottom. It's not a spoiler. It's not, I don't know what it is, but it's like a spoiler for the lights. It like takes the air and puts it over the, it's probably more aerodynamic. Ferrari's a lot smarter than me. Anyways, this is the Summit car for the first month. It's a custom SF90. And that is basically it in terms of cars. It's a little bit light this month. Now, I did count all of these cars. There's about 30 cars that we can count in season 7. However, a lot of them are like returning Crew 2 cars or cars that are from the main stage or like main stage legacy type stuff. So you have like the 4 returning main stage legacy cars, and then you have the 4 year 2 pass cars, and then you've got the 3 shop editions and the playlist rewards, another 4. That's 12. And then there's some that we don't really know, like the Summit cars for month 2, 3, and 4. In addition to that, there's some cars that they just haven't mentioned. So they've told us that there's going to be 17 new vehicles in this update, but not all of them were available in this build. What we got in this build is what's available day 1 with this update. So any of those things from like month 2, 3, and 4, we don't have access to those things. So there's actually like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars that I know are coming that I cannot mention at all, that I can't talk about. And some of these are actually exciting, but I'm not going to tell you what they are because I don't want to break NDA. Let's just move on. That's it with the cars. There's about 30 or so for this season, including the cars that are coming back. All right, let's quickly talk about the playlist. So the Ferrari Supercars playlist, you start this at the Enzo Museum. You go to the museum, start it up, and you have to have the F50 in order to start it. For the events, you've got 7 different events. Now, each of these events features a different car in Ferrari's history, and each of those cars has like their real gauges. I don't know if it's actually their real gauges, but they actually look real. They look like they would actually fit the car in the timeline that the car came out in. So I think they're the real gauges for the car. That being said, they're not the gauges from Motorfest. Like, it's not just a Motorfest gauge. It's an actual like Ferrari gauge, I think. And that is super awesome. I want to be able to use these gauges on different cars, please. This is such a cool quality of life thing that you could throw in there. Give us the ability to customize our gauges, or at the very least select from a bunch of different vanity gauges. That would be really cool. I'd love to see it. Anyways, the playlist I thought was pretty good. However, I have a full playlist playthrough video. I'll just post that today so you can see the full playthrough with no commentary, nothing like that. I just want to get that out so you guys can see the playlist before you go and play it. But yeah, there's 7 events. There's 9 side activities. There's 1, 2, 3 different feats, 4 different feats, and the rest are photo ops. So, you know, good for your Explorer XP, but you know, not really a lot to do here. There's challenges, 25 challenges. I did all of them. Some of them are pretty wacky, like You just have to sit at the Ferrari museum for like 3 minutes. Another one is like go around and like interact with all the cars and the things. So you could probably do those two at the same time. So I don't know, it's some of them are kind of wacky, but it is what it is. You got 25 new challenges to take on, and then custom mode is here. So obviously I didn't focus a lot on custom mode. I was actually testing in money methods. That's why you see all these hypercar stickers. I want to see which one was the fastest on this one, and we didn't really have any AGP parts in this build, so I was going for hypercar. Anyways, you can basically do everything in here except for this one race here, and it's because this fourth one actually happens to be like a multi-vehicle race. So you like select 2 different cars on there, and I'm not sure how they would, you know, if you pick 2 different classes, they obviously wouldn't work like that. So you can't do it on this one. And that's basically it for this first playlist. There is a second playlist coming to season 7. I'm allowed to mention it. It's called Luxury Chronicles Europe. This playlist is not going to be a normal playlist. This playlist is going to be delivered differently than everything else. Every single week, starting on August 6th, they're going to be giving us access to a portion of the playlist. So you have like let's say 2 events. They haven't told us exactly how many, but I think it's going to be 2 events per week. So you basically have 2 events per week starting on August 6th. Every single week, they're going to add another 2 events, and it is a story. I got to play through this on the TTS, and actually the story and like the commentary and the feel of that playlist is really cool. I wish we could play it all at once, but they are delivering it to us in weekly installments. So we'll get a couple on August 6th. We'll get a couple more the next week, the next week, the next week, until the playlist is done. I'm not sure exactly how long it'll stretch out, but my guess is somewhere around 6 weeks. I think it's a minimum of 6 weeks. It might actually be a little longer than that, so don't quote me on that one. But that's your second playlist, and that one will start on August 6th. All right, let's talk about the main stage theme. So this first one obviously is Ferrari. So we have the main stage Ferrari. We got supercars on week 1, F80 on week 2, Rosso Adrenalina on week 3, some ridiculous crazy vacation on week 4, and then Ferrari on week 5. Now that's just the first month, the main stage. The second month is going to be French Elegance. That'll be August. The third month will be German Refinement. That's going to be September. The fourth month is going to be British Flair. That's October. So I don't have anything to show you on those because we don't have access to that stuff. I don't have any pictures or anything I can show you on any of the branding or anything like that, but those are the things. So we got Ferrari, French, German, and British. Those are going to be the monthly themes. Now, of course, you've got the summit menu here with the different themes: Supercars, F80. It follows the main stage, Rosso Adrenalina, and then Crazy Vacation and Ferrari. So these are your summit themes as well. Let's talk a little bit about multiplayer. Multiplayer got 2 major updates, and there's probably a lot of other things in there. I'm pretty sure they added new routes and new hubs, but they did not mention it in any of the documents that we got, and you can't really test the grand races on this particular build because the servers are not the normal grand race servers. These servers are completely separate. These are specifically for people who are trying this new early access build, and there's not a lot of people on at the same time. You can't just like queue into it. So that being said, I really don't have any information on any of the routes or any of the new like hubs or where the starts are or anything like that. I don't know any of that stuff. What we do know is there's 2 quality of life updates with PvP. Number 1 is the split time indicator, and number 2 is the spectator mode. So the background footage that you're watching right now is the spectator mode in the grand races. It actually functions really well. The problem is it doesn't have a lot of polish. So like the sound is not very good. The choppiness of the video, it seems like there's a latency issue to where you're seeing these cars drive like really twitchy. Like right now I'm on like Simji's POV, and you know he doesn't drive like this. Like he drives really smooth. Same with Goliath. Like these guys are excellent drivers. They drive really smooth. They don't drive twitchy like what you're seeing in the clip. So there's obviously some tweaking and some improvements that they need to make with this thing, but it works. It works well. It's got good features. You can switch the cameras. You can switch the players. Like you can go from just your friends where you're just toggling your friends back and forth, or you can toggle the whole group. It toggles it in order of who's racing. So like someone's in first and you go to the next player, it just drops you down to second place and third place, then fourth and fifth. It's great. The functionality of it is great. I think it just needs a little bit of polish, and I'm sure we'll get that with future updates. But for right now, this is amazing because we can use this for tournaments. We can use it for events. I love it, and I'm going to be putting on a tournament soon, so keep your eye out for that. All right, next up, let's talk about the rewards. I'm talking about the Vanity Rewards that you can get in Season 7, particularly in Month 1. I don't have any information on Month 2, 3, and 4, but for this first month, we've got basically 18 vanities that you can earn. These are vanities that you don't have to pay actual real money for. These are things that you can do in-game and get the vanity. So there are 4 tires, 1 smoke, 1 nitro, 2 underglows, 1 window tint, 1 audio signature, 1 rooftop, 3 clothings, and 4 titles. Let's go through each one of these so you can see what it is. So let's talk about challenges for the Ferrari Supercars playlist. If you complete 10 challenges, you get the Supercar tire. If you complete 15 challenges, you get the Ferrari Supercars hoodie. At 20 challenges, you get the Supercar smoke. And then if you complete all the challenges in the Ferrari playlist, you get all of that stuff, plus the 2 titles that you see here. You'll get those for completing all of those challenges. Now, if we go to the main stage, if you hit level 4 in the revisit main stage area, you'll get the red beam sunglasses. At level 4 in the compete main stage area, you get ruby glasses. At level 3 on your legend track, you're going to get the emerald tire. At level 4, you're going to get another title, and you'll get the final title at level 100. So they've actually went from like level 50 back up to level 100. The last few months have been level 50 back to level 100 for this one for some reason. All right, moving on to the summit rewards. For week 1, we get a supercar kit audio signature. Week 2, we're getting a Squadra Italia tire. Week 3, we're going to have the ultimate nitro. Week 4 is the 50s holiday rooftop. And week 5, again, is that SF90 special edition car. Finally, for the custom show, week 1, you're looking at the Spike Underglow. Week 2 is the imported smoke. Week 3 is the gold line window tint. Week 4 is the rusty tire. And week 5 is the supercar underglow. Now, that's it for the vanities. I don't have any idea what the vanity shop is going to hold because the week that we have for this particular build does not have like any new stuff in the vanity shop. So we're probably going to get some new vanities in the shop along with this stuff. For season 6, there were 21 earned vanities. And then on top of that, there was like 18 like purchasable vanities, but they also, some of those actually could have been summit rewards. I didn't write it down as the season progressed, but just to give you an idea, there was around 39 vanity rewards. And for season 7, there's only 18 that we know of. There's probably a lot more that we're going to get. So that's it for that one. Let's talk about quality of life. First up, the Prestige Ticket Shop got an update and a new feature. I don't know if it's a new feature. They are adding the custom show rewards to the Prestige Shop. It's about time. Except for they're not doing season 3, 2, or 1. So if you're missing any type of custom show rewards for season 1, 2, or 3, it's not in here. But season 4 is. You got the Mecha Head Underglow. This is a custom show reward. Look at all this stuff. Look at all these vanities that are in the Prestige Shop. Lots more stuff to spend your money on. And it's all the platinum custom show rewards plus all the platinum cars for season 4. So that's what we're getting. We've got the Tusk, the KRC Japan, the Impala, and the Thunder Edition Taycan. So there you go. And then of course, all of these guys right here, including the El Sereno horn and the Ultra Charger kit. I know a lot of people were looking for that Ultra Charger kit. It is here. Also, the USA car flag's sick, dude. Come on. I gotta rock those on literally every car. I don't know why I'm not doing that. All right, in addition to that, for quality of life, we got the new Fast Fave feature. So instead of swapping parts with the right stick down, you're going to be swapping your Fast Fave when you're in your car library. So you can take the F40 and set it to this guy, for example. Boom. And it gives you a little street car icon. Now, if you take Street 1 and set this donk to this one, so each category has their own icon, tells you the brand of the car and not the name. You got to see basically what this is. And then when you go into free roam, you can just open up, whoops, I set it for this one. If one of your fast faves is already on your dial, but you set it for a different button, it'll just swap it to that one with the one that's already there. It doesn't actually put like multiples of the same car, but you can put multiples of the same category. You can put literally anything. You can put 4 planes or 4 motorcycles or 4 Street 2 cars, or you can literally put whatever you want as long as it's not the same car 4 times. You cannot do that. All right, they also introduced immersive mode. So if you go into your game settings, it's the second setting here. You just turn it off, disabled, or on. On means it is on, and you don't have on means off. On means off. Off means on. So, and disabled means you get it. Did you disable immersive mode? It's the thing is on. If it's enabled, it's off. Okay. So look, there we go. Not one piece of UI on the screen except for my 60 FPS counter at the top. That's done by NVIDIA, not by the game. And I can take that off if I want. Anyways, not one piece of UI. You just get my dumb face and the car, and you can just be racing like this. It is pretty cool. It is immersive. I do like it for cockpit mode specifically. Makes me feel like I'm actually driving the car. And if I had a steering wheel, this would be an awesome way to play this, because you got gauges on the car. You can see them right there. You can see when the car is going to redline, but you don't have any of this UI that the devs designed. It just, you know, all car. Anyways, let's move on. I forgot to mention photo mode. They did add some new weather effects to photo mode in different times of day. You can now change it to things like this and get really cool pictures with the lightning in the background, but it is kind of difficult because you have to find it on a time where the lightning is striking. But you definitely get some different weather modes and you can get photos just like this. All right, the last thing I had written down was that the legend track goes to 100. I don't know why I wrote that down. I talked about it with the main stage stuff. But basically, yes, the legend track goes back to 100. It was at 50, and there you go. That's pretty much it for this update. It is a very light update, and I'll be honest with you, my thoughts on why it's light are that I think the team is split between a lot of things, and I'm just guessing. I don't work for IVT. I don't know anybody at IVT. I'm just guessing, but here are my thoughts. The Crew 2 offline mode is still cooking. It has not surfaced yet, so I'm sure the team is still working on that. So you've got a portion of people doing that. You've also got the year 3 update for the game right around the corner, and that usually is a bigger update. Like, you know, they'll release a bigger feature, like, you know, another island or, you know, something like that. They've done big features for the yearly updates. So there's that. And you also have the news of the Crew 4 being greenlit by Ubisoft. So I'm sure a portion of the team, even if it's a small portion of the team, is starting to work on that or get that going as well. So you got these 3 things that sort of took their attention away, or theoretically took their attention away from Season 7. And that's why you've got sort of a lighter Season 7 update centered around Ferrari, which is cool. And it's really a lot about racing. It's kind of like back to the roots of the game, which I actually really like. The playlist races are very simple. They're very just race focused and oriented. So that's pretty cool. But at the same time, there's not a lot of content. There's not a lot of updates, not a lot of things. It could just be that it's in here. Like the grand races, I didn't even really get to test. So it's kind of hard to tell you what's going on with PvP. There's not really anything I can talk about there. So all in all, it's probably the lightest update that we've gotten for the game. There's likely big things around the corner, so I'm not too upset about it. We're just going to take what we got and have fun with it. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the other 2 videos that we got going out today. We got the playlist video and the cars. Check those out when they come out. They should be out in at least another couple hours or so. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Enjoy Season 7. I'll catch you on the next one. Trigger out.